Growth modulation techniques really refer to spinal deformities in young children. One of the traditional ways that we correct spinal deformity is by spinal fusion, whereby when they have a curve like this, we straighten it, we put in rods and we fuse the spine. Now, when that occurs in very young children, with the fusion, the spine no longer grows. So what we want to try to do is to try to maintain growth of the spine using these growth modulation techniques. What essentially that means is that we try to slow down growth on the longer side of the spine to allow the spine on the other side to catch up. And that essentially is what growth modulation is. I think the key takeaway message is that traditional techniques like spinal fusion, we've been doing it for many years and it is a very successful procedure. All growth modulation techniques are relatively new. Even the ones that have been around for the longest of time is only maybe 5 to 8 years. And for anything to do with children, we really want to wait until they are fully mature before we can assess results. So growth modulation techniques are new, they're exciting, but I think we need to wait to see the long-term results to be sure that they're actually good. The session really consists of techniques of growth modulation from the front of the spine that we call vertebral body tethering, as well as from the back of the spine, kind of posterior dynamic control systems. Both of these are relatively new techniques, and there are no direct comparisons as to which one is better. So the proponents of both techniques really had an opportunity to present what they feel is the state of the art, and that was very interesting, I think, for the audience to hear. Well, the most popular growth modulation technique that is being used is called vertebral body tethering, and this is a technique whereby usually through small incisions on the side of the chest, we approach the front of the spine and we put in screws into each vertebral body at the front. And then the screws are connected by a flexible tether and then compressed. So this is the technique that has been around for about 8 years, and there are 4 to 5 perhaps major centers around the world that are doing this technique. And that has been probably the most popular. A less popular one and perhaps newer technique is the posterior growth modulation, in which screws are put into the back of the spine where the spine is curved, and the device connects these two screws together, which progressively distracts on the concavity to straighten the spine. This is a relatively newer procedure, only been around for a few years, and only a small number of cases has been done.